ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇವು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಫೋರ್ಸಸ್ ವೈಬ್ರೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತವೆ ಸರ್.
Okay.
ಫೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ
Good.
ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟರ್ನಲ್ ಫೋರ್ಸಸ್.
Okay. Now, so as I was saying, the machines which are rotating in with the high speeds as well as which is low speeds. So just if we take an example of an engine, okay. So if you take an example of an engine, so and other machines, so which are going to be rotating within high speeds here, which are going to rotate in a high speed. So they may be rotating or they may be also reciprocating. So you must balance all those motions or all those masses completely here, because what happens is, so if you're not going to make a balance, they are going to produce some vibrations, they are going to produce some shocks, they are going to produce some rocks, okay. So due to this one, what happens, so there is a possibility of increase in lack of unbalanced loads as well as lack of unbalanced vibrations. So now this is going to cause the failure of the components or failure of the machines sometimes here, okay. So now these are going to not only are bearing loads, okay, and the stresses in the members which are going to increase by the dynamic forces, okay, which arise from any lack of balance, okay, any lack of balance. So you must see now the rotating masses as well as the rotating reciprocating masses are to be completely balanced here. So now coming to the static balancing. What does it mean here, static balance? Now let us take an example here. Okay, so now I have one shaft here. Okay, so on one shaft I have connected one rotating mass here. Okay, so now which starts rotating. Okay, which starts rotating. Okay. Now what is the effect of this rotation mass on this shaft here? On this shaft, let us take this shaft. This is mass. Now what is the effect here? Whether the shaft is going to rotate, remain same in a straight line position, or it is going to cause some bending as well as vibration, right? Now static balancing means a system of rotating masses, okay, a system of rotating masses, not only one, it is a system of rotating masses is said to be in static balance if the combined mass center, okay, if the combined mass center of the system lies on the axis of rotation, lies on the axis of rotation. So now that is going to be called as a static balancing, okay. So to be in static balance, if the combined mass center of the system lies on the axis of rotation, okay. That means, so if you combine the rotating masses which are over the shaft, okay, so their center of system should be lies on this axis of rotation. Then you can call that as a static balancing. Okay. So now this static balance is mostly related to the centrifugal forces which are going to act on the component, only the centrifugal forces. Okay. Now coming to the dynamic. So dynamic means, general meaning, someone say dynamic means it is variation of time. Okay. Now but in dynamic balancing, now when it is subjected to the number of masses on a shaft or an axis, so if it is an out of balance, then you need to bring it to a stable condition. You need to bring it in a stable condition. Now, in static, you are going to consider only the centrifugal force or as well as the mass. But in case of dynamic balancing, so you need to consider the centrifugal forces as well as inertia of the masses, which are going to give the effect on the rotating member. Okay, or in other words, so when several masses rotate in different planes here, different planes, the centrifugal force in addition to being out of balance also form couples. Okay, now a system of rotating masses is in dynamic balance, is in dynamic balance when there does not exist any resultant centrifugal force as well as resultant couple. So this means, so if the masses are rotating in a different planes, and the masses are rotating in different planes, not on a same plane. Okay, so then the resulting centrifugal force as well as resulting couple should be equal to 0, and they should not give any answer. They should not give any value. Okay, so now this should be equal to 0. Okay, that is what resulted in the force, as well as the resultant couple also should be equal to 0. Then you can say the rotating masses are in a dynamic balancing state. Okay, dynamic balancing state. Now looking into the balancing of rotating masses, that is a single rotating mass in a same plane. Okay, in a same plane. Now let us look out here. Balancing of single rotating masses by balancing masses in same plane. In same plane. So balancing means, so you need to provide some counteract force or counteracting mass. So where the obliquity as well as the resultant forces are resultant couples which are going to induced in the masses should be kept to 0. Okay? So that is what balancing. Okay? Now, this is what a first case, a balancing of single rotating masses by balancing masses in a same plane. Okay? In same plane. Now for analysis, you just consider one shaft here. Consider one shaft. Okay. So it is subjected to one mass here. Okay. So which is held with the help of arm here. Okay. Okay. So now let us consider it is supported in two bearings here. Supported in two bearings. Okay. Now, if it start rotating, what happens here to this shaft? What happens to this shaft? Now it has a certain mass here. Okay, so it has a certain radius, and this shaft is subjected to some angular velocity. Okay, that is what omega. Now what will happen to the shaft? Whether it's the same, whether it's going to retain it the same, or it's going to change its position. ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಈಗ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ ಥ್ರೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಅಥವಾ ವೇಯಿಂಗ್ ಬಾಲ್ ಥ್ರೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಸೊ ಅವರು ಥ್ರೋ ಮಾಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಹೆಂಗಾಗ್ತದ, ಅವರು ಅಲ್ಲೇ ನಿಂದಿರ್ತಾರ, ಅವರು ಇಂಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ಸರಿತಾರ?
Position change it is.
Changes, right? So now to balance this mass, you need to give some counter mass here, or you need to give some counterweight, right? So now this is what, let us take R2 or R1, M1 here. Okay, so now this is what M is disturbing mass here. Okay, this M1 is balancing mass, right? Now let us consider a disturbing mass of M1 attached to the shaft. Okay, attached to the shaft. Now let us consider here. Now this is what mass M, which is rotating at a distance of R1, Okay, so let us take and counter mass. This is what M2, which is at radius of R2. Now this is what a side view here. This is M2, R2. This is what mass M. Okay. Now this is what R. Let us take R here. Notation should be same. Okay. Right? Now, so consider a disturbing mass M1. Okay. Now they have to M1. Let us go for M1 here. Okay. So M1 is what? Disturbing mass. So let us take omega is angular velocity of the shaft, which is rotating at a radians per second. Now let R1 is the radial distance or radius of rotation of the mass M1. Okay, radius of rotation of mass M1 about axis of rotation of the shaft. about axis of rotation of the shaft. Okay, we can say radius of disturbing mass from CG point of mass. Okay, from CG of mass, right? Next, similarly, so to overcome this effect, you can consider the balancing mass M2. Okay? So let us go for M2 is what? Balancing mass. Okay, M2 is balancing mass. So R2 is what? Radius of balancing mass. Okay, from CG of mass to axis of rotation. Okay, no. So if any component is rotating outside the axis of rotation, so what it is going to produce? What it is going to produce? Already we come across in governors. Okay. Now, as it start rotating with some angular velocity here, so this is going to produce some centrifugal force here. This is going to produce centrifugal force. Now let us note down. So centrifugal force by the disturbing mass. Okay. Now centrifugal force exerted by the disturbing mass M1, okay, on the shaft. So now this is what? Fc1 equal to M1 omega square into R1. Let us note down this is equation number 1. Similarly, so as you want to counteract the centrifugal force exerted by this disturbing mass, okay, you are adding one more mass, that is what? A balancing mass M2. Okay. So now let us note down centrifugal force exerted by the balancing mass M2. Now Fc2 equal to M2 omega square R2. Okay, R2. Now what is the condition here? To get in a balance, the summation of centrifugal forces which are going to act on the shaft should be equal to 0, one condition, or the centrifugal force which is exerted by the disturbing mass should be equal to the centrifugal force exerted by the balancing mass. Okay. Now let us equate equation 1 and 2. Equating equation 1 and 2. So what will get? Fc1 equal to Fc2. Okay. Now let us substitute here m1 omega square into r1 equal to m2 omega square into r2. What will get? m1 r1, m2 r2, m1 r2 and m2 r2. Now m1 r1 is a product entirely related to the which mass? Disturbing mass. Okay, so now you can't change it. Okay? You can't change it. Now, you may split this product in a convenient way, such that so M2 should be kept lower value or lesser than the disturbing mass M1 here. Okay, so now you can enlarge the, or you go for larger radii. You can go for larger radii, right? This is how we are going to balance single rotating masses in a same plane. Okay, single rotating masses in a same plane. Okay. Now let us go for next bit. That is what balancing of single rotating masses, okay, by balancing masses in a different plane. Okay. Now, so why it is necessary to go for balancing masses in a different plane? So why can't you go for in a same plane? Can anyone give the idea? Same plane alle rotating masses ಯಾಕೆ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು? ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಹೌದಾ, ಇಲ್ಲೇನಿದೆ, ಶಾಫ್ಟ್ ಐತಿ. Okay, so now this is what disturbing mass, okay, which is rotating. We have gone for adding the balancing mass in a same plane. So now they are suggesting that you can go in a different plane also. ಈ ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಈ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹಿಂದ್ಗಡೆ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ರೀಸನ್ ಏನಿರ್ಬೋದು?
equal
ಏನಿರ್ಬೋದು ವಿಚಾರ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ. Now, so the one reason is, so now as you are going to use the balancing mass in the same plane, what happens here? So sometimes, okay, sometimes it is not sufficient to use a single balancing mass, although the inertia forces are equal in magnitude and opposite in direction, but they have a different line of action. Which is going to cause sometimes couple here. Now what happens? This couple tried to rock this shaft from the bearing, That means we tend to lift the shaft out of the bearing here. Okay. So now to overcome this one, so you may put two balancing masses in a different planes. You can go for two, or you can go for a number of balancing masses. That too depends on requirement. Now therefore, in order to put the system in complete balance, now we're considering two balancing masses are placed in two different planes. That means now This is one shaft here, okay, so which is supported at two end points, okay. Now this is what disturbing mass, okay. Now I am going to place one mass on this plane, okay, on one mass on this plane, okay. Now they are entirely on a different plane, not on a same plane, so they have offset some distance here. They have offset some distance. So now let us take this as the m1, let us take this as a m2. Now radius of rotation here r2, radius of rotation is r, radius of rotation is r1 here, radius of rotation is r here. So now the offset distance which are going to take place from the disturbing mass. So you can just give some notations here. L1, L2, no, L here. So now by this way you can even though reduce the rocking of the shaft because of the couple which is induced from the masses on a same plane. Now to get this one, so they need to satisfy two conditions here, two conditions of equilibrium. One is the net dynamic force acting on the shaft, okay, the net dynamic force which is going to act on the shaft here, so this should be equal to 0, Now what happens? So dynamic force has to be 0 on the shaft. This requires that the line of action of three centrifugal forces must be the same. That means centrifugal forces which are acting on the shaft must be the same. Or in other words, the center of the masses of the system must lie on the axis of rotation. That means, so the center of mass of the entire system must lie on the same axis of rotation, right? Now this condition is what that is what static balancing. This condition is static balancing. Second condition, the net couple due to the dynamic forces acting on the shaft is equal to 0. In other words, algebraic sum of moments here, algebraic sum of moments about any point in the plane must be 0. Right? This is what second condition. How here? Now just look out here. Now the disturbing mass itself is a one plane position, okay. Mass m2 is another plane, so mass m1 is another plane here. Right? Now the algebraic summation of the moments about any point, let us take, now I want to take a moment about this point, okay. So if we take a moment about this point for these forces, okay, the force, these magnitudes or these masses should be equal to 0 here, so then only what happens is, so you are going to get the rotating masses in dynamic balancing. Right? Now to get this one, you have two possible conditions here, okay. You have two possible conditions here. So now let us note down first condition. The plane of disturbing mass may be between between the two planes of balancing masses. Okay, this is one condition. And second condition is the plane of disturbing mass plane, or the plane of disturbing mass may be lying either to the left or right of the planes of balancing masses. So we need two criteria here, or we can get two conditions here. Okay, one is the placing the disturbing mass between the planes of balancing masses, or one more condition is placing the disturbing mass plane or disturbing mass either to the left hand side or either to the right hand side of the balancing masses. Okay, now let us go for first case here. Now let us go for first case. The disturbing mass lies in between two planes of between the planes of the two balancing masses. Two balancing masses. Okay. So note on this figure. So now let us consider m is the disturbing mass, okay, so which is rotating at a radius of r, okay, from the axis of rotation of the shaft. Now we have two balancing masses here, so that is what m1, which is supported at a point q here, which is supported at a point q, and one more balancing force, one more balancing mass, it's m2, which is supported at a point q, which has a radius of rotation of r2. Okay. Now this is what m1, m2, m, this is the radius r. Now this is the radius r1. This is what radius r2. Okay. Now this is what axis of rotation. Axis of rotation. Now let us mark these position of balancing masses as well as disturbing masses with some plain names here. Let us go for A, M, and L. Okay. A is the plane of rotation of disturbing mass. M is the plane of rotation of mass M2. L is the plane of rotation of mass M1. M1. Now let us consider the distances. Let us consider the distances. Let us consider L1 is the distance, okay, of rotating mass M1 and M. That is what the distance between planes L and A. Similarly, L2 is the distance between the disturbing mass and rotating mass M2. And let us take L is the overall distance between the planes M and L. That is what rotating mass M1 and M2. Okay. M1 and M2. Now, first you need to satisfy the static balancing. That means the centrifugal forces which are acting on the shaft, summation of these forces should be equal to 0. Okay, these forces should be equal to 0. Now let us go for the derivation here. Now let us go for centrifugal force exerted by mass, that is what disturbing mass M. Okay, disturbing mass M in plane A. In plane A. Now let us take this is what Fc equal to M omega square into R, right? M omega square into R. Now you can say this is what Fc. Similarly, the centrifugal force due to the balancing forces M1 and M2 in L plane as well as in M plane. Let us go for centrifugal force due to mass M1. Fc1 equal to M1 omega square into R1 and Fc2 equal to M2 omega square into R2. Right? What is the condition? Condition is summation of the forces which are acting on the shaft should be equal to 0 here. So that is what you can say Fc1 plus Fc2 equal to Fc, or Fc plus Fc1 plus Fc2 equal to 0. Right? Now this is what a condition for static balancing. Now if you substitute the equations of Fc, Fc1, Fc2 in above equation, what will get? Fc equal to Fc1 plus Fc2 M omega square R equal to M1 omega square R1 plus M2 omega square R2. If you simplify this one, as angular velocity remains the same for the disturbing mass, rotating disturbing mass and balancing masses, so omega square get cancels here. Omega square get cancels. Now what remains here? Mr equal to M1 R1 plus M2 R2. Right? This is what one equation. This is what one equation. Now, as you need to find out the magnitudes of balancing masses M1 and M2, okay, M1 and M2. Now you need to consider the movements about the position of rotating masses. That is what the balancing masses. Okay. Now let us go for first one. Let us go for first one. Now to find the magnitude of balancing force in the plane L, okay, that is what M1. That is what M1. Okay. Next, now in order to find the magnitude of balancing forces in plane L, okay, in plane L. You just recall from your strength of material, if you want to find out the reaction force at L, or you want to find out a reaction force at P, what you are going to do? ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರಲ್ಲೇ? ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರು? What you are going to do if you
distance, sir.
Okay, or the dynamic force at the bearing Q, okay, or the dynamic force at the bearing Q, okay, of a shaft. Now take moments about P, which is the point of intersection of the plane M, okay, and the axis of rotation Okay. Now you are taking moment about Q. Okay. Now what is the equation you are going to get here? Someone give the equation. Taking which one? Okay. Now you're taking moment towards the point B here. Okay. Point B. Now we'll draw the diagram here. We just look out. Now you're taking a moment about this point. Now here we have an Fs here. Now you have a Fc1 here. Now the distance here it is a L, okay, and distance here it is what? I think L2, right? L2, right? Now what will get? Fc1 into L equal to Fc into L2, Fc into L2. Now substitute what is the Fc1 equation and Fc equation. Fc1 equal to what? M1 omega square R1 L. Fc equal to M omega square R into L2. Now omega square get cancels here. Now you can find out the mass, okay? You can find out the mass as well as the product of radius of rotation by this relation, okay? Now this is what second equation. Similarly, to find the magnitude of balancing force which is there in a plane M, take moments about Q, and write the equation. So what you'll get? Fc2 into L equal to Fc into L1. you will get this way. See, okay, this distance is L1. Yes, so this distance is L. Sorry, L. Now again you substitute the equations here. So Fc2 equal to what? M2 omega square R2L M omega square R into L1. Okay. Now what will get? M2 R2 equal to, okay, MR L1 divided by L2. Now this is what a third equation. This is what a third equation. So now here equation 1 satisfies the static balancing of the rotating mass. Equation 2 and 3 will satisfy the equation, that is what dynamic balancing status. Dynamic balancing status. Okay. You can just recall the definitions of static balancing as well as dynamic balancing. Now, next criteria, plane of the disturbing mass. Next criteria, plane of the disturbing mass lies on one end of the planes of balancing masses. Planes of balancing masses. Now, in this case, what happens? So, disturbing mass either to the left hand side of the rotation of planes of balancing masses. Okay, planes of balancing masses either to the left or right. Okay. Now let us note down diagram here again. One more diagram for this case. So let us take M is the mass which is at a radius of R. Okay. Now I kept masses here. Okay. Now this is what mass M1, right? Mass M2, which is the radius of R2, radius of R1. So let us notify the distance between every plane. So let us take this is L1, this is L2, this overall distance as L. Let us take this is the A plane, this is L plane, and this one is the M plane. Okay, this one is the M plane. Now you just observe here. So the forces which are acting in downward direction as well as in upward direction. Okay, you can balance in that way, or you can just write the equation. That is what downward forces and upward forces summation should be equal to 0. Now, first let us satisfy the static balancing condition. Now, Fc is what? Force exerted by the disturbing mass. Okay, this is equal to what? M omega square R. Fc1, force exerted by the rotating mass. Fc2, centrifugal force exerted by the rotating mass 2. Now, So if you look over the condition here, Fc plus Fc2 equal to Fc. You just observe here, two forces are acting in upward direction, one force is acting in a downward direction. Now summation should be equal to 0 here. Summation should be equal to 0. Now let us substitute the relations here. M omega square R plus M2 omega square R2. Sorry, this is Fc1, right? M1 omega square R1. What will get? Mr plus M2 R2 equal to M1 R1. Okay, M1 R1. Now similarly, to find the balancing force in the plane L here, okay, to find the balancing force in the plane L, okay, now take moment about point P here, take moment about point P here, point P and Q, okay, now Q comes here. Now someone find the equation, whatever you want to get. Now I'll write the statement here, okay. So find the balancing force in the plane L. Okay. Now you need to find out the balancing force in the plane L. Now at which point you want to take the moment here? On which point you want to take a moment? Okay, now let us take moment about point P. What will get? Fc into L equal to Fc1 into L2. Let us say Fc into L equal to, okay, right? You may get some confusion over the notations here, so you better to use the same notation which you are used for this case also. Okay. Now what is the rotation you use it between the plane L and M here? It is a L. Now this will come L here. Let us go in the previous derivation manner. Where it has gone? Okay, quickly note on second case. So now this is what mass. This is M1. This is M2, R2, R1, R. This point is Q, this point is P. Now this is what plane A, this is what plane L, this is what plane M. Okay. So now the distance between plane L and M is small l. Okay. From M to A, it is L2. From L to A, it is L1. Okay. So already written the forces here. So Fc equal to what? M omega square R. So Fc1 equal to M1 omega square Fc1 equal to m1 omega square r1, Fc2 equal to m2 omega square r2. Okay. Now we need to, now if you substitute for the static equilibrium state, so what is the condition here? Fc plus Fc2 should be equal to Fc1 m omega square r plus m2 omega square r2 plus m1 omega square r1, mr plus m2 r2 equal to m1 r1. Okay. Now this is going to satisfy the static equilibrium condition. So now in order to find out the magnitude of m1 and m2, okay, m1 and m2. So now let us take a moment about point P here. Taking moments about point P, what will get? So Fc1 into L equal to Fc into L. Sorry, Fc into L2. Okay? Fc into L2. Just look over the distances here. Now here distance is what? L2. Now this distance is L. Okay. So now let us substitute m1 omega square r1 into L equal to m omega square r into L2. So what will get? M1 R1 L equal to MR L2. Okay. MR L2. So now we can get the product value of M1 R1 equal to MR L2 by L1. So as you noted, you can split this product. Okay. So balancing forces product in appropriate way, keeping the balance of rotating masses as the low, and you can increase the radius of rotation of balancing masses. Okay. Now similarly, so taking movement about Q, taking movement about Q. Okay. So what will get in this case? So Fc into L1 equal to Fc2 into L, Fc2 into L. Now let us substitute m omega square r L1 equal to m2 omega square r2 into L. So now m2 r2 equal to mr L1 divided by L. This is another equation. So now these two equations are going to satisfy. These two equations are going to satisfy the dynamic equation. Now you can just observe here, even though if you alter the, what you can say, planes here, even though if you alter the planes here, you just observe this equation, you got a same equation here, you got a same equation. Similarly, you got a same equation here for balancing masses of M1. I think you got a same here, you got a same here. Okay. Now you will keep in mind, okay, so keep in mind, you clearly observe the positions of the rotating mass and the disturbing mass. Then based on that one, you can write the equations of movement in your own way, and you can find out the product of mass into radial distances. Mass into radial distances. Then you can see, split up that product mass into radial distances, okay, in accordance with your requirement. In accordance with your requirement. Okay. So we'll end up here. We'll take a class tomorrow. You have any tomorrow class, free class? ಹಲೋ
ಸರ್.
ನಾಳೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ ಯಾವ ಫ್ರೀ ಅದಾವ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ? ರಿಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ರೋ.
ಸರ್ ಮಧ್ಯಾಹ್ನ ಫ್ರೀ ಇರ್ತಾವ ತೋರಿ ಸರ್.
ನಾಳೆ ಸ್ವಾತಿ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಐತೆ.
ATD ಐತೆ ಸರ್ ನಾಳೆ 9ರಿಂದ
10 ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅವ್ರು ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರು ತಗೋತಾರ, ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ನನಗೆ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ರೆ ನಾನು ತಗೋತೀನಿ.
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್.
ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಟ್ ದ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್.
ಸರ್.
ಯಾರು
ಸರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ನಾ ಸರ್ ಮಾರುತಿ
ಹೇಳು.
ಸರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಪ್ರಮೋಟ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಸರ್.
ಪ್ರಮೋಟ್
ಹಾಂ ಸರ್.
ಪ್ರಮೋಟ್ ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ಪೋನು
ಪ್ರಮೋಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ನಾ ಕುಂತರ ಸರ್. ಇದ್ರಿ ಇವನ್ ಸಮ್ ಇದೆ ಸರ್.
ಪ್ರಮೋಟ್ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ, ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ಬೇಕು ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ಅವು, ಅಲ್ಲಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು ನೀವು. CI ಬರೆಯಬೇಕು, CI ಬರೀಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ.